What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Fresh Squeezed RC, and today I'm bringing you some extra special awesomeness in the form of this super rad Truggy from BGR Fabrications. He makes the frame, Ella makes the running gear. Without further ado, let's take a closer look at this beast and see what it's all about. All right. So let's check this thing out. So this is Element RC based trail runner drivetrain, basically. BGR Truggies framed build here. It's got Kyosho Mad Band wheels and tires on it. This was just kind of for fun, but man, I stuck them on there and I really think they're cool. I do have another set of tires, which we'll get into later, but this is what I'm going to call like the party mode setup. Like if you want to blast, that's what I'm going to run. They're pretty lightweight. They got a cool pattern. They're like kind of like a monster truck tire, kind of an agricultural type tire. Really cool though, really lightweight, so they'll be easy on the drivetrain. Go over the exterior of the truck first, and then I'll pull the cab off and we'll talk about, you know, really like the meat of the build and what really makes the build up. So from the outside, we have a Proline K10 body, really cool. I kind of did a patina paint job on it. This has been kicking around on the channel for a minute, or at least on the Instagram page, and it's you know, kind of a cool little patina job. I did add Proline Racing hood scoop to it, molded that all in. I mean, it's heavily cut up to fit this. So, you know, you can expect on a build like this, if you're going to, you know, go to this point, to really have to modify whatever body you're going to put on this. I mean, this is a full, you know, full frame operation. This is OEM nothing. This is all rad. MyTrickRC light bar. Which is really cool. It's got a ton of programmable options, which you're going to see in the next video I make on this. So stay tuned for that. I made this custom like side exit fender exhaust. It also has MyTrickRC LED lights in it. So when I go full throttle, it'll basically glow orange out the exhaust. So that'll be a really cool feature. It's got some really great stuff from KSP, Kustom Scale Printing in there. He does some really cool stuff. I'm going to link everyone in the description down below, so just check everybody out. So for the front, it's got some light buckets in it. I can't remember where they're from. They're maybe from eBay or Amazon or something. This one's got an X. That one had a Hella cover on it, but it went missing. So, you know, that's how that goes. But I really like this hood scoop from Proline. It's like a ZR1 old school Corvette style hood scoop. It's got an interior out of an Axial Wraith 1.9, I'm pretty sure. It's not the best fit, but it worked in a pinch, and I don't think this is going to be the permanent body. I've kind of got an idea I want to do for another cab, but this works for now, and I really, you know, it gives the truck a cool look. Kind of weird though, because it's like an old crusty body with like this super killer aluminum chassis and roll cage and all this radness. All right, I'm gonna pull the body off. I've got it just magnets in the front, a couple of magnets, and then in the back, BGR, the frame has these two little pegs, and I mean, I'm assuming that's so you can put a couple of little holes in the back of your cab there and mount your body, which actually works really well. Now, my front mount setup sucks. Honestly, it's awful. They're not strong enough. I use this stuff for drifting, and they're great, but for something like this, with this kind of power system and gearing and stuff, it doesn't really work. So I added a, you know, zip tie mod and just zip tie it down, and that works just fine. Here you can see the MyTrickRC light controller for the exhaust. Sorry, it's all dirty. Like, I do run this thing and I don't really clean it that much, but I like to party. More KSP stuff. Light bar. As you can see, it's all back half and all the sliders and front bumper and all this is all BGR, and it is super rowdy. Like, I mean, the coolest stuff you can get, and it's made out of aluminum, so it keeps your truck, I would say, at like a well balanced weight. Like, you can build this truck to crawl, or you can build this truck to party, and I'm going to do it both ways, and I'm going to show you how to do that both ways. But I really like what he's doing here. I just think it works really good. So let's talk about what I've got as far as drivetrain. So the IFS literally bolts right in, straight out of the trail runner. Bolted that right in. I'm running stock drive shafts. I've got the stock transmission. It's got element diff, drive shafts, links. I mean, this just works, guys. It works really, really well. You can see another cool feature of the BGR stuff is all the adjustability you can get. I mean, you can't, like, you know, me, I'm not like a comp guy. I just like to bash and have fun and stuff. But man, if you really want to dial in your stuff, I think this would be a great chassis to do it. You can get a good look at the hot racing shocks, which never buy because they're absolutely awful. Absolutely awful. I'm not joking. They're terrible. From day one, they've leaked. I've been through them. They still leak. They're just, it's just not good. You don't want them. Trust me, guys, you don't want these. But they do look cool, if that's any consolation. But what does actually work and look cool is the Reefs Rc Sway Bar kit. Works great. Really helps keep the back of the truck flat. You know, I've got the Extreme RC 4x4 trailing arm mount kit on here with some Amazon Yeti trailing arms on it. And if you've watched, you know, the video a couple of videos ago, you know that this thing works really well. And I think I need to get a better set of shocks, and that's going to make all the difference. But the Extreme RC 4x4 trailing arm mount kit is really cool. I did trim it up a little bit just because the frame on this is winds up to be just a hair bit wider than a factory element frame. And but so minor trimming there. I mean, trimming and fitment is going to be something that you have to do. As far as the Reefs Rc Sway Bar goes, that's not a direct bolt on. I had to add in some metal back there. Now maybe that's something that BGR incorporates into their chassis or makes an option in the future, but we'll have to see. The power setup you've seen this vehicle run so far is a Hobbywing Max10 2 to 4S ESC. It'll never see 4S, but it's nice to have that much room. It also has a 4000 kV 5mm shaft motor in it. It's got a Reefs 444 servo and horn in there, kind of hard to see. The key to making this powerful, speedy setup work is that gearing, that Robinson Racing Mod 1 gearing. It's almost 1-to-1, and that keeps a lot of shock off the front driveline. So if you want to have a go fast setup and have that front diff live for a long time, you're going to need something like that. You can't really have your cake and eat it too, unfortunately. Take that for what it is. I just kind of want y'all to be aware that if you do want to run something like this and have it perform and go fast like in the last video, you're going to need some gearing like that. Let's talk about kind of the next phase of this truck. You've seen it bash, you know it rips. So next, really what I want to do is install the wheels and tires that were intended for the build, which are just some Amazon bead locks, but they're on the really, really good Proline BFG mud terrain tires. This is a G8 compound, so it's not the Predator. It's not going to be like the best crawling tire, but again, obviously, I'm not like the best crawler guy. But I do have wheel weights for these, which I may or may not install. We'll just have to see how it goes. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the other power system I'm going to run. So I'm going to go back to like a kind of a stock style gearing for the crawler setup, and I'm going to run this Hobbywing Quick Run Fuzion system. This is a 2-in-1 system, FOC style crawler setup, 1800 kV. I mean, really compact, really good. You can run 3S on it. So I'm going to swap this in here and put these wheels and tires on here and take it for a crawl tomorrow and let you guys know how it does. Like I said, it doesn't have a ton of flex in the back because of the sway bar and trailing arm setup. I mean, it's a setup more trophy truck-ish, I guess, or pre-runner. But I can tune that up. It really just needs a set of shocks. But anyway, that's where we're at. Think this is going to be a really, really cool project. I'm nowhere near done with it. You know how projects are. I really want to give a big shout out to BGR who makes this killer Truggy setup. I mean, he makes a lot of other cool stuff too. This is my Wraith 1.9 that's got Capra axles on it. It's got every part that he makes for the truck, and they're all killer. They all work great, and this is by far my best performing crawler. I mean, maybe I was wheeling it today, or maybe that's dirt from like a month ago, but you know, who knows? Don't judge me. I really hope you guys enjoyed checking out the BGR Truggy, and we're gonna have a lot more of this coming up. I'm gonna swap the other wheels and tires on here and do a little crawl with it tomorrow, so expect a full video on that in just a couple of days. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't, drop a like, and leave me a comment down below. Stay rad, my friends.